acknowledge that we were founded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, the Attawandaronk, the Mississauga and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and now live on land that is home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We have many representatives working across this land now known as Ontario, and we acknowledge that there are 46 treaties and other agreements that cover the territory. We are grateful to be able to work and live on this land, and thankful to the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people who have cared for these territories since time immemorial, and who continue to contribute to the strength of Ontario and to all communities across the province. To continue to center reconciliation, we encourage our team, partners, students, and teachers to take time to learn about the lands they are currently on. Visit native-land.ca for more information.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Ontario Agriculture Week, and welcome to today's virtual field trip. My name is Rachel, and I'm your host from Farm and Food Care Ontario. We're thrilled to be partnering with AgScape this week to bring you a series of virtual field trips in celebration of Ontario Agriculture Week. Today, we'll be visiting a pig farm with our friends at Floradale Feed Mill. We're going to take a look into the farm's feeding systems and see what goes into feeding and caring for pigs. Throughout the tour, feel free to put your questions into the chat for our host to answer. We'll be doing this tour live, so feel free to put those answers and guesses in the chat while we go through. So we've got our team at Floradale Feed Mill waiting, so let's go get us started.
All right, we're on. Hi.
Okay, good morning, team.
I'm with PPA under John at Floradale Feed Mill.
I'm John, I work at Floradale Feed Mill. I am a swine production specialist.
Right. We're in one of our finishing barns right now with these pigs. They're at the final stage of growing.
They're 5.5 months old. Pigs grow very, very fast, and they're well cared for and in very specific environments and fed special ways so that they do grow fast and very healthy. And these pigs are having actually a really good time with us in the pen here, getting acquainted with us. They're relatively friendly, and they have a great environment for growing.
Yeah, pigs are really curious, so anything new to the pen, people, or a toy, they love to play with. Anything that moves, they're going to put it in their mouth.
They've been chewing on me.
We've got their feeding station over here. So this is the feed that we make for them. Ron, do you want to explain it a bit?
So that's the diet that these pigs grow is what's totally called a balanced diet. That's for protein and for energy, minerals, and vitamins. So every mouthful they take is exactly the requirement they need on a daily basis. So their diet's actually balanced better than maybe what our humans are. And so that's what makes pork a very nutritious protein source for our own diets with pork, is how well we feed these pigs.
Yep, and they get full feed all the time. It never runs out.
So in this barn here, the pigs are on what's called a total slat of flooring. So pigs will dump in certain areas and urinate. It all goes down into a pit below, and a manure pit, and then from there, that's where it's stored through the year, with 2 times a year where the manure is taken out onto the field and spread as nutrients for the farm crop. And
So we have a question here.
Okay.
Do pigs eat different food mixes at different life stages?
Yes. So we do a 4-stage diet. John, do you want to explain what that is?
In the nursery, they have 4 stages. They have 4 stages of feeding, and here in the finishing line.
Yeah, so each diet is specific to how we want them to grow throughout their stages of life. Because if you feed them too much fat at too young of an age, it's going to grow way too big for what we need. We want it nice and gradual.
All right. And a view of the pigs.
More questions coming?
Not yet. Do you want to talk about what this chain is over here,
Yeah,
John?
we did mention. So in order to keep these pigs happy and that, they love enrichment. So we have a toy here. They can play with this chain. You can move it to different levels up and down depending on the age of the pig. This helps them just to prevent boredom and that while they're in the pens and in our trade we call it enrichment. There's various enrichments we can use, including sometimes even giving them a little bit of hay or rubber objects that they can play on the floor.
Why do pigs like mud?
Well, pigs are a pretty social animal and they love to play. So having toys, having other pigs in the pen, having lots of things for them to slosh around in, they love it. It feels good on their skin. So yeah, if there's a puddle, they're probably going to end up in it.
Can you teach pigs to do tricks?
Well,
Pigs are very sociable animals. They're very intelligent because they learn to go through scales and very quickly. They learn to get onto a new feeder and adapt fairly quick. They're very smart. They're affectionate. If you were to pet one of these pigs 3 or 4 times, they'll follow you around the pen. They become friendly very easy, much like a dog.
How do you know how much to feed a pig?
that's a good question.
So on a pig, today we feed pigs full feed, full living feeding. So they're gonna figure out how much they need to eat on the feeders are full all the time. They have full feed access right through their whole lifestyle.
But it's the type of feed that we feed them to make sure that they don't get too fat or too skinny. So that's what we watch at the mill. We make sure we give the right ingredients in the feed so they don't get too big or too small.
Do they have access to water all the time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
want to show us?
Access to water. Pigs are drinking right over there, and they got access to water there. And
Also have it at the bottom of the feeder. Excuse me, guys. Look at it. Look at it. And we also have it down here so that they can have a wet, dry feed up to them what they prefer, or if they just want to get a drink of water.
perfect.
How heavy does a full pig get?
Full-grown pig.
Yeah.
Depending on the market that they go to, they're anywhere from 260 pounds live weight up to 340 pounds live weight. It'll depend which market we go into.
How heavy are these pigs, John?
These pigs here right now would be 230 pounds.
And they're also asking how old are these pigs?
These are 5.5 month old pigs.
Did you know that pigs are the fastest growing land mammal on the planet?
I didn't know that.
Today. I did not know that either. I learned that the other week.
And pigs are highly reproductive. They have a gestation period of almost 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours. They have a very short gestation period, and they will remate 28 days after having a litter born.
And are there different species of pigs, John?
And there's different species of pigs. We have our wild animals, wild boars, not in the environment that are not controlled. But for the ones that we do control in our domestic herds, all of them are mainly York Landrace cross animals, along with a Duroc boar to produce market dogs. And so basically, that is the domestic herd.
Yeah.
This barn here is also environmentally controlled. This environment here is all controlled by fans pulling air out with air coming through the inlets, fresh air, and that's all controlled by, this barn particularly is all controlled by a computer on a cell phone that can be monitored 100% of the time all day. So we know what's going on in here for environment. So also these pigs are protected with alarms and emergency power, so they always have hydro going.
You'll notice most of the pigs in this barn are pink, but sometimes you'll get a colored pig. Either it'll have brown spots or black spots, but most of these ones in this barn are going to be pink.
How many pigs do you have in this farm?
So in this barn here, in this room here, we have around 1,400 pigs in this room. There's a second room in this barn with the same, so there's about 28, so like 5,200 pigs into this barn.
Yeah.
As we notice now that the pigs get used to it, they're not nibbling at your boots, not nibbling at your boots, a little bit of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect behavior. These pigs are very happy.
And so you said earlier that these pigs are about as big as they would get, right?
They'll be in the next. They'll go to market in the next 3 weeks, and they'll get a little. They'll still put on another 50 pounds.
Yeah.
It'll be quite a bit bigger yet.
Oh, they will. How long do pigs sleep?
Well, pigs will sleep almost like humans. They'll be. They have during the day, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, pigs have what's called hack and they play around and get their exercise and all that. Then later on at night, it'll be quiet around 9 o'clock. It'll be very quiet in the barn all the way till 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 p.m. in the morning. AM.
They do have pigs have like a cycle throughout the day where they'll eat in the morning and then they quiet out throughout the day. But then, John, you said around what 3 o'clock is
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah,
they
3
get
o'clock,
a little riled up again and they want to go and eat at the feeders and get some exercise. So yeah, they're a very scheduled pig. Pigs love routine.
And we have a grade 3 student asking if we use any bedding or what do we use for bedding?
In this barn here, we use no bedding at all. It's a total slatted floor, and the pigs stay very clean. Yeah, there are barns though that still use a little bit of straw for bedding, but those are for smaller operations, and it's fairly time consuming and labor involved with bedding. But in the new modern barns, no bedding is used.
So after these pigs leave the barn gets pressure washed down. It's a big job. We wash all the ceilings and all the petting, and we get ready for the next new batch of pigs.
I can't read it. I can't see it. Oh, Jessica. Look at the pigs.
So we have our farmer Ryan over here, and he's the one who actually takes care of the pigs on a day-to-day basis. And then our staff from Floradale are kind of here for additional support. Where does the manure go on the farm? Ryan, do you want to talk about that?
So yeah, the manure goes out for fertilizing our crops, for our corn and corn for the pigs then goes back into the mill and gets processed into the feed. So it's a big advantage for us as farmers for our fertilizer program.
Why are pigs raised indoors?
So pigs are raised indoors for to give us the best health that we can. Outdoors, we'd be able to spread disease very easily. Also, pigs perform much better and are more healthy inside an environment in a barn like this. Everything is disease controlled, and so that happens with this barn here. A lot of barns are shower for people who arrive. They need to shower in and or change boots and coveralls in order to go in. It minimizes the spread of disease.
Do pigs easily get sick?
Pigs are a lot like human beings. They can get some of the viruses, like the flu. They're same as the human beings. So there could be certain viruses. And so what we do is when piglets are born, before they're born, their sows are vaccinated for various viruses and that to help protect them. Again, if we watch how we manage our biosecurity for protecting the pigs, then they'll remain healthy.
It's crazy to think that, 5 months ago, these pigs would have only been this big. They grow so fast.
And so are pigs picky as far as food goes?
Yes, pigs are picky. They like a certain diet with certain things in it. They also don't like it if their feed gets dirty, which is why the feeders are raised up a bit so that no manure and pee goes in there. Pigs are picky when it comes to where they eat and where they sleep and where they poop.
And so someone had asked, why do pigs eat everything? Is that a bit of a myth, would you say? Or
Pigs are curious animals. So if there's something that gets accidentally thrown into the pen, or if his hat fell on the ground, the pigs would definitely try and put it in their mouth. They're a curious animal. So that's probably why, people say that, oh, pigs eat everything. It's more just their curiosity.
which is also why they're really chewing on us right now. How much does a baby pig weigh when it's born?
1.2 kilograms, 1.4 would be the ideal birth weight. Sometimes a wee bit smaller.
Mm-hmm. So they're pretty small.
And one sow can have upwards of 20 plus piglets. It's crazy. Lots of babies in 1 month.
Pigs are very productive by how quickly they can have their litters, but also very productive on the size of litters they have too. So a sow will produce like 30 to 34 pigs per sow per year. So they're highly reproductive.
What is the oldest pig you've ever seen?
Oh, in my experience, I had a mom pig that had made it to probably 6 to 7 years old. I know it sounds young, but she was a really, really good mom. She had lots of babies in her lifetime and was a really good mom to those babies.
And are there any foods that are dangerous for pigs to eat?
And in the wild, the pigs eat various stuff, and if it's not good for them, they won't eat it. They know that by themselves. But in our domestic herd, with feeding mainly our corn, grain, soybean diet, there's no issues of what they won't like about those ingredients. They don't like bitter food.
Do pigs take daily vitamins?
In the feed.
Yeah, all their daily vitamins are balanced in the feed. So yes, they are on vitamins. They get it in their feed on a daily basis.
And you can give pigs additives into the feed. You can do a top dress. You can put stuff on top of the feed, but you can also run things through the water. So if you want to add in extra minerals or some calming net, it's all run through the water, which is really handy. So if the pigs, let's say, got a little bit of a cough and you noticed it walking the barn, and we want to make sure they feel better, you could run a water medication through the water, and so that the whole barn gets medicated.
And so, what is included in the pig feed is another question.
Oh, there will be.
You want to walk over so they can see it?
So in this feed, there would be corn, there's wheat, soybean meal. There will be a bit of a bakery product, which is basically bakery that we don't feed in the store, and it goes back to be ground up for an ingredient, bakery meal. And pigs really like that. It's got a lot of flavors. And then this is all processed into what becomes a pellet. And it can be either in a mash form or in a pellet, but a pellet allows pigs to be able to eat fairly quickly. That pellet is very dense with food in there, so they can intake fairly quickly. Because pigs like to eat fairly quickly because they feel secure if they can get all their food in one or two dinners and then be able to go lay down and rest.
This barn will have mostly boy pigs in it. There's going to be some girl pigs, but this barn is going to be 90% boys. The girls, they sometimes will get sold to become mums on new farms.
And someone is asking, can pigs eat grapes?
They certainly could, but we wouldn't feed them to them, no. We don't have to cut them in half for pigs.
Does their food ever expire?
No, their food never expires. We have feed being delivered on a weekly basis, and so the feed is no older than 1 week of age, stored in very dry, clean feed bins.
Yeah, so it's not so much that the feed couldn't expire, but it's that they're eating it so quickly that they don't have the feed in their shelves for really that long before it's replaced with new feed.
Yep, pigs eat feed really quickly. They could probably eat, 10 tons? In how long?
This barn here, 10 tons in 3 days.
And how much water does a pig drink in a day?
They will drink up to 25 to 30 liters per day on the big pigs.
So that's a lot of water.
Yeah. Pigs won't eat unless they have water.
Absolutely.
Same thing with humans. You have to have water to be able to eat. So water and food is the most important thing that you check. As soon as you enter a barn, you're checking to make sure the feeders are full and that the waters are working.
Do pigs snore like humans?
Yes, they do. Yep, and they also twitch. If you find a pig laying down, zonked out, she'll be twitching because she's in such a deep sleep.
All right. I don't know if that's maybe all the time we have. It's a good 25 minutes of questions.
Hey there, Floradale team. I have time for one more question.
All right.
And that is, what is your favorite part about your job, about raising pigs? And why did you choose that?
Good question. So what is your favorite part about being a pig farmer? And why did you choose it as a career? Jess, I'll let you go first.
Okay, that's a great question. So I enjoy pig farming. The best thing about it is it's rewarding. So when I start my day of work and I finish it, I can look back at everything I did that day and look and see it all right there. I've seen what I've done, whether I've delivered babies, unloaded a truck, helped pigs feel better. It's a really rewarding job. I can see it firsthand.
John?
Love working with pigs because the more the management and the better you are with it, the pigs reward you with great growth, great health, and happy animals. And these pigs here are quite happy. This is very satisfactory this is high satisfaction for me to see these pigs happy. Because we planned all this, and the pigs did what we wanted us for us to do.
I'll let you go too, Ryan. Yeah, why do you love being a pig farmer?
I enjoy the pig farming. It's our daily livelihood as well. It's a family run operation. So my kids can help me look after the pigs. They can help me clean up. I'm training a 15-year-old and he's learning to work, and it's a good experience for him. All jobs aren't fun jobs. Washing a barn isn't always a fun job, but it's a rewarding job. It takes perseverance, and that's a good quality to have in life as we go through life.
Good answer.
Well, those are all some great answers. That's all we do have time for today. So thank you for such a great tour. Is there anything that our team at Floradale would like to say or add before we have to leave?
What was that? Sorry.
That's all we've got time for. Thanks for such a great tour. Is there anything you guys wanted to add in before we let you go?
Any last notes you'd like to add, Jess, John?
I would like to add that if any of you kids are ever interested in working in farming, I would highly recommend giving it a try. I don't come from a farming background and I absolutely love it. And you can have a super fun career working with animals or anything to do with agriculture.
Any last notes, John?
Yeah, lots of advantages working in agriculture with new technology and all that makes it a lot easier to do farming that way. And so we welcome young youth to be involved in agriculture. If you can't be involved in agriculture, please support it and tell everybody the good news about pig.
Yeah. And thanks for having us on so we could show you what it's all about.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So thank you to our team at Floradale Feed Mill, and thank you to all of you who joined us for today's virtual field trip. We had a great time with all of you, and we hope you learned something today. So remember to support your local farmers and food processors, and to stay safe when you see them on the roads. Happy Ontario Agriculture Week, and we will see you all next time.